Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, sexy and not so sexy, big children and little. I'm going to try to keep this as humble as I can. Front row seat to the circus is the title of this Just My Thoughts blog. There's so much going on, and I really didn't want to put a lot of captions in the title as clickbait. I just really want this to remain as an artistic testimonial to all the ish going on out there. Okay. Um, I footnoted with the price of fame because I'm really, from the jump, I'm really looking at things that happened to Sean Puffy Combs as of late. And I really remember what's striking about everything that's going on with Mr. Combs is I remember idolizing Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. I remember idolizing him in the New York streets back in 93, 4, and 5. Two into three, four into five. Being at those parties when a young BIG before he got put on was just really so hungry, and he did this song called "What You Want, Nigga" in the club, and that he was popping bottles, and I didn't know who this guy was. And now it wasn't uncommon for your neighborhood drug dealer to pop bottles, buy out the bar, or something to that effect. But I mean, I did not necessarily know this kid. I seen him for the first time, and he seemed to be really putting on a show. Really putting on a show. We'll come back to that. So I really watching his rise in real time in New York as a rapper in Queens, watching what they was doing across the bridge in Manhattan was was phenomenal. Plus, I dated a girl that went to Howard University, so I was at the Howard University parties back in the day. And I know how they was giving it up. So I was like, hmm. So, short story long, I idled this cat so crazy. I idolized this hustle so crazy that at one point in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, you figured there was nothing in my closet that was not Sean John fashion. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. This man has become a platinum artist without knowing how to rap. Okay? Never take away the man's hustle. Never. You follow what I'm saying? But what I'm more disappointed with myself is the fact that I put other things that were not that important to the forefront. That's why I footnote this with the price of fame. What is it? There is a debate, there is a spiritual war going on for our souls. This is real talk. What is important? What is important? As a people, we don't have much. So, do we have that the creativity that is given to us by God? When does the art become important above the flash? I That's why I call this whole thing the front row seat to the circus, because I've had a front row seat to the circus my whole career. It is my purpose. I know why I'm here. I'm not built to be in those rooms. I watch guys like Dame Dash give us a ton of wisdom and truth for decades. Always on the side of ownership, always an advocate for the artist and the art and independence. And I watch how we cut that man, and we don't listen to this man. We know he's speaking all facts, and we don't listen to this man. I watch how we treat our own when we talk about freedom. When I tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, we free, you turn around and get mad at me, metaphorically and systematically trying to make slaves out of the rest of us. Filling the game with mistrust and disgust, lust brought you here to this lonely place. Lusting for hot bars, though. The price of fame. I idolize this dude. Sean John Fashions and the whole thing. And I'm a lyricist, and I rap. I'm a poet. I pride myself in lyricism. But here I was idolizing a man that sound decent with Jadakiss doing your reference track. Jadakiss doing your reference track. You sound average at best. Platinum. I'm not hating because I was dancing to the Benjamins in parties I was throwing. This is not hate. You think this is hate? This is not what hate is. I am disappointed in myself for what I idolize. Price of fame, front row seat to the circus. So now, what has that got to do with me? Well, I'm on this. I'm elevating to another tier after this. I'm beginning to ask myself what's important. With with new eyes on me, old eyes act like I'm not there. It's so different when you go into that first room, into the next level. It's interesting how they treat you. I understand the malevolence of men. Like, it's like, Jesus Christ. The price of fame, front row seat to the circus. Every man on your label is gone. Or if they're not, no, if they are still with us, they have taken a hard stance on faith. The price of fame. Do we have to? Is that the price of? Is that the price? I remember watching Andre 3000 recently in a clip, and he was just like, "Well, fame is unnatural. One person wasn't made to be adored like that." Well, I have no argument for what Andre 3000 said. I have no rebuttal. But what I will say is that that darkness cannot be so dark that it will absorb light. That, like, there has to be there has to be a dichotomy. The universe insists that there is another side. So what do you do with your power? And why are we doing what we're doing? Because apparently it's very easy, not only for these individuals to lose their way, but it is easy for us to idolize them. Take myself. What's really important? Front row seat to the circus. I've seen this game turn family members against each other. It's crazy to have a hating ass cousin. It's crazy to me. But that's there's The universe insists there be a dichotomy. For every dark, there's light. For every light, there's dark. So that is their purpose. Just like me, they're a child of God too. Even though you often seem to be in a bad mood, front like a killer when you're really not that dude. So now it makes you look at all of these stories like, man, I have to look at society. I have to look at how we treated or we treat these celebrities and and somehow have to hold us responsible. What's really important, you know what I mean? We have a real problem knowing exactly what we got to do and not doing that at all. Not doing that at all. I watch as this 50th anniversary of hip hop is on us this year, and this year is coming to a close, and all that. I watched so many interviews after interview after interview. It's talking about like there's no good hip hop, or all hip hop is this, or all hip hop is that. We all know the corporate structure. This is no secret. We all know why the music that is getting funded. And that's all fine and good. I ain't trying to stop nobody from eating at all. Get your bread. If you find a frequency that is just like yours. However, some of us are on a higher frequency and we don't fuck with the higher frequency. Sometimes you just need to share just because. We got a problem just hitting the like button on people we know because how it will be perceived. Someone we know and someone we love will we will hesitate on public affection in the form of hitting the like button just because we don't want to be perceived a certain way. It's almost like your spouse or your mom saying, "Oh, you can't you can't love on me in public. You're afraid to kiss. You too grown to give your mother a kiss. You can't hug your dad." You follow what I'm saying? It's absolutely ridiculous. We make our bed and we are so complicit in what we do. You know what I mean? I'm an artist. Some of these guys are wearing so much jewelry. I know that's not what it's about. Hey, we love to hear the story of how the thugs live and worry. I love to see my people living good and having abundance. But when in reality, when we are not opening banks and schools, the fuck is a rope chain? Front row seat to the circus. Front row seat to the circus, the price of fame. Do you really have to sit at the dinner table with the dinner thieves to eat dinner? I don't, no way. No, there's got to be another way. Do you have to become something ugly? Is that the trade off? Is that the price of fame? A front row seat to the circus, to get in the circus, to participate in the circus? To get those elephants and lions and tigers and bears, oh my, to get them to comply? Doesn't mean what you see in the show doesn't meet the abuse backstage, how these animals are treated, how the sideshow and the little man and the fat lady with the beard, how they're being treated in society. You follow what I'm saying? Like, we are so complicit. Front row seat to the circus, the price of fame. As I do things like make a rider for myself, set prices for shows, and do more things, ghostwrite for people and doing screenplay work, and what I mean, really, really stretching the pen out a bit. You think a lot about what it is you want. At the end of the day, what is your mission? Again, it can be very in an attempt to make a living from your art. There is a huge temptation to do things that will compromise you. Let's add that to the fact that there is an aphrodisiac of power that I've been writing about for years, where when you give individuals power and they get drunk on that power, and some people's only way they gain excitement is through manipulation and the pain of others. And that saddens me in many ways, because it's just like, I know what man is capable of, but I also know what we tolerate, what some of us tolerate for a price. I mean, we be seeing the writing on the wall, and a lot of us kind of know where this is going, but we really feel like the ends justify the means. Partly why I am where I am is because I've been saying no for a long time. I just really couldn't. Uh, just getting ultimately got in whatever ways these guys be losing their mind in. And I've seen a few from a distance through that TV screen and through up close and personal. I've had homies drunk off power, man. Oh God, I've witnessed so many come ups, and so many cats just talk crazy after they come up. Like, I'm like, some of these guys were rich, but not necessarily wealthy. So some of these guys were talking like they had like 10 boats or something. I'm like, what? Oh Lord, some of the conversation I have overheard in this game over the years, it could be its own book, 2 volumes, and just dissecting what are you really saying here. You follow? So I'm not going to keep you too long. Front row seat to the circus. Man, there's so much to unpack here. I want to give a listen also to Andre 3000's joint. Um, I'm gonna close with this. Lauren Hill, on a statement before she hit the stage or after she hit the stage in some recent concert they was having, or she was a part of a performance, or maybe they were honoring her or what have you. I'm not sure, but she was just like, I heard she had a rant to the audience where she said, "You guys should be privileged that I even showed up. I'm an artist. I'm an art here, and I'm giving art here." And the crowd cheered. Some bloggers had not too positive things to say in response to what she said. Some bloggers gave her praise because of the boldness of standing on your art. How do you feel about it? Do you feel that it is a blessing to receive or share in a great piece of art? Do you appreciate? Are you an art lover like that? Could you appreciate something like that? Or do you think that Lauren is in her arrogant diva bag? I am on the side of the artist always, and with her catalog, especially since that Unplugged album. I It took me 10 years to digest that. And I still could listen to it today and pick up something I didn't pick up before, because that album is an exercise in in spiritual revelation. You know what I mean? She just, man, the grooves of that record are so deep. She's just, boy, she went to like 12 churches on that record. Crazy. Even though she got canned for not necessarily having beats, sometimes the music has to shut the fuck up, man. She was bars only. That was some other bars. You know what I mean? Man, but front row seat to the circus, the price of fame. Lauren, the reason why I bring Lauren up last is because Lauren seems like somebody who shot up to fame, looked down the rabbit hole, did not like the view, and decided to fall back and took this hard line stance on art, which made her say exactly what she said. So you have the choice, to me, is clear. You know what I mean? Who are you doing it for? Doing it for you? You're doing it for the art? You're doing it for legacy integrity? Or are you joining the circus and participating in the popularity contest?